6, and I'm calling the Planning and Zoning Commission in meeting to order. I'm in on behalf of Johnny Narvaez, that was excused from today's meeting. Roll call, please.
Yes, Madam Chair. Hector Garcia.
Present.
Rolando Casas.
Present.
Mike Malone.
Present.
Manuel Rangel.
Present.
Johnny Narvaez. Yushin Huang.
Present.
Regina Portillo.
Present.
Daniela Salapaz.
Here.
George Alkill. Present. Madam Chair, for the record, you do have quorum.
Thank you. Can we have a motion to excuse commissioners?
I'll make
that
a
are-
motion, excuse.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Uh, Let us rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Consider approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the
Motion
minutes?
to approve the minutes from the
Second.
last meeting?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any citizen comments?
No, Madam Chair, we do not have citizen comments.
Okay. Now we'll be opening the public hearing and rec of ordinance by amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by amending ordinance 2021-0-189, which authorized a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol on Lot 1, Block 1, Royal Oaks subdivision, Phase 1, located at 110 Willow Oak Street, Suite 3, in order to remove Fernando Canseco applicant and Lopez and Sons Investment Limited Liability Company owner for the Taco Mais restaurant and replace with the Terraza Leasing Limited Liability Company, Republica 359 restaurant as the parties of whom the permit is issued, and to amend the hours of operations and square footage.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, we have the applicant Lopez and Sons Investment LLC, owners David A. Martinez applicant, Luis Hernandez representative. Property location, Lot 1, Block 1, Royal Oak Subdivision, Phase 1, located at 110 Willow Oak Street, Suite 3, 2,386 square feet. Zone change request is for an amendment of a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol. Proposed use is for a restaurant serving alcohol. Letters sent were 18, and we have none for and none against. Background, we have ordinance 2021-0-189, which is a special use permit. On October 4th, 2021, City Council approved of a special use permit for a restaurant serving alcohol. Requested SUP amendment for the ordinance are as follows, which are the SUP issuance, the removal of Fernando Canseco applicant and Lopez and Sons Investment LLC, owner for the Taco Mais restaurant, and replace it with La Terraza Leasing LLC, Republica 359 restaurant. Square footage, the square footage will be increasing to 2,386 square feet from 2,178 square feet. Hours of operation were to be amended from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Sunday to Tuesday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday 12 p.m. to 10 a.m., and Monday will be closed. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Zone change signage. Zoning map. Future land use map. And the recommendation is staff does not support. And the proposed motion.
This is a public hearing. Okay, take them over you.
Yes, Madam Chair, before you open the public hearing, this, just a reminder, this is the one that came the last meeting, that there was a question on the square footage. And so the square footage was reviewed, it is less. They still don't meet the parking, but it's much less that they're off by. So I just want to remind those that were here at the meeting last meeting.
Okay. Mayor?
Motion to open public hearing?
Second.
Buenas tardes.
Please state your name for the record.
Mi nombre es Luis Hernández, soy representante de Terraza Leasing. No sé si puede ser mi cuestionamiento en español, por favor. Sí, ok. Se hizo unas modificaciones en lo que nos estaban pidiendo en cuanto a los pies cuadrados, ya que el plano anterior estaba mal diseñado, estaba duplicado los pies cuadrados. Sí, también se modificó el cambio de dueños, así como también se modificó también el horario. Eso es lo que estamos presentando en la carta que nos pidieron ustedes de modificación, es lo que modificamos.
Okay.
Madam
Do you
Chair,
have any
may I be recognized?
Uh-huh.
So could we go back to the aerial? Okay, so we're on the highway, and I'm sorry, it's currently zoned what? And forgive my ignorance here, it's been a while, but can we go to the next slide, please? And so si entiendo correctamente, ya tienes establecido aquí un restaurante
Sí,
y estás aplicando para poder vender
la licencia de TBC de alcohol.
cerveza o alcohol.
Alcohol en general, lo que es cerveza y drinks, bebidas en general.
Okay.
Point of clarification, this, before COVID, this was going to be a Taco Mais restaurant. COVID hit, they couldn't do it, so they never really opened. So now they're coming back with a restaurant called República.
Sí,
So there's no restaurant in there right now, but he's prepping it to be a restaurant called La República.
Because it states Estancia Events, and right on the aerial, it says Estancia Events.
Estancia is the
neighbor?
this side of the building, which is a party hall facility for quinceañeras and stuff like that. And the restaurant would be where you see the glass on the left.
Okay.
Okay, can we see the next slide, please? And then the next one? And then the following one. And what are the intended hours of operation, do we know? ¿Sí, entiendes bien inglés o mejor platicamos en
no,
español?
español, por favor, discúlpeme mucho.
¿Cuáles son las horas de operación del
Ok.
negocio?
En la operación del negocio estamos lo que es de martes a sábado es de 12 del día a 2 de la mañana. ¿Sí? Lo que es domingo es de 12 del día a 10 de la noche y el lunes está cerrado.
Okay. Okay.
If I may, to the staff, is it my understanding that the reason you don't support this is because it requires more parking than what was previously needed, and that's the only reason?
That would be the reason, and one of the issues that we see here is, if you look at the aerial, you'll see that the neighborhood comes out right there, and if there's not enough parking, they typically park on the street where the cars come out. Now, there is a gasoline station right across the street, but based on our calculations, which we present on our paperwork, the proposed restaurant requires 29 parking spaces. The commercial plaza, which is the party facility, 80 parking spaces. So they would need a total of 109, and they currently have 87. So it's,
20 short?
And forgive me, it's been a while, but I mean, does the comprehensive plan still mean anything today here at the city of Laredo? Or has it just been kind of shelved like the ones
no,
previous?
we follow the comprehensive plan.
And the spirit of the comprehensive plan, I mean, I know like, you know, Recode Laredo is somewhere in the future, I suppose, but the spirit of the comprehensive plan at least really wanted to downplay the emphasis on parking so that businesses weren't being, I guess, regulated to death, and so that we would be encouraging folks to, whatever, carpool, walk, bike over. And so we're a few parking spaces shy of what's currently required. It sounds like the spirit of the comp plan is there, at least as it relates to the parking component. I would make a motion that we approve the special use permit.
Second.
I still have some questions to ask about that. You have a dance hall or a party place next door
Siempre va a estar
that
abierto.
usually, yeah, I speak in English. Tienes para poris enseguida, que los viernes, sábados van a estar, they're usually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they're packed. All those cars, extra cars are gonna go into the neighborhoods. You're gonna cause people coming out of bars drunk. Parties usually end at 1 or 2 in the morning, so does the restaurant apparently. And I just think that we're creating something that shouldn't be created. You know what, I understand why you don't support it, and I understand that there are rules and regulations that we need to follow. If we're gonna go by bike or something, people are not gonna go to a restaurant on a bike or walking. They're going to eat. I think it's something that we need to look for, the rules, and that we need to follow them. If we're gonna make up our own rules as we go, we're not gonna get anywhere. This is my two cents.
¿Le entendió?
No.
Ahí va. Le voy a decir un poquito lo que dijo el comisionado Alket y el
He's spoken Spanish.
comisionado García. No, pero él se estaba dirigiendo hacia el comité diciendo que había un plan comprensivo de la ciudad que querían o lo que veían mejor para los emprendedores de negocios como usted, que no les limitaran el espacio del estacionamiento para que pudieran ustedes abrir, ¿verdad? Eso es lo que en general explicó el comisionado Alguet. Y el comisionado García nomás dijo que le daba un poco de temor que pusieran en las calles, ¿verdad? Que los jueves, viernes y sábados, que es en donde a lo mejor va a haber el empalme de los
Eventos,
carros en el salón de eventos, que a lo mejor saliendo de ahí pueda haber un accidente o una cosa así, ¿verdad? Entonces ya opinaron, tienen dos opiniones, ¿verdad? Antes de seguir con lo que mencionó el señor Alguet, estamos en una audiencia pública, ¿verdad? Usted obviamente está hablando a favor. Orly, do I have to ask if anybody wants to speak against on this item?
Yes, you have to give an opportunity
Okay.
for both sides.
Por ahorita, hasta ahí vamos a necesitar su apoyo.
Okay.
Pero como esta es una audiencia pública, necesitamos ver si alguien de la comunidad de donde se encuentra su negocio va a hablar en negativa o no.
Okay.
Pero si lo necesitamos ahorita le hablamos.
Oye,
Ok, muy bien.
tengo otra pregunta. Si alguien sabe si Estancia tiene un permiso de TABC para vender alcohol también,
eso
¿alguien
también.
sabe?
Distancia.
La verdad no ignoro.
Nobody know that? No.
Pero debe de.
Pero es lo que mi mujer debe tener porque es para eventos de quinceañeras, bodas. Digo que debe tener permiso para poder servir alcohol también ellos.
Sí.
They typically bring their own. Usually, they bring their own.
But do they have a TABC permit to sell?
They usually
To
don't.
sell.
They usually don't.
Yeah, event places don't.
Okay, okay. And it is, I mean, con todo respeto a mi colega, señor García, sí está como que era pegado enseguida de un vecindario, una colonia, que se le quiere decir así, en defensa de los que caminan y llevan bici, sí hay un poco más de acción. Yo sé que a veces el clima está más pesado, pero como quiera, por los requisitos de estacionamiento, está, o sea,
Muy mínimo.
es mínimo. Y realmente pues queremos alejarnos de esos requisitos tan estrictos y extremas de que todos tienen que andar en su propio vehículo y tenemos que guardar lugar para que todos tengan su lugar de estacionar. Muchas ciudades afuera de Laredo están deshaciendo de los requisitos tan estrictos y abundantes por lo mismo para dar incentivo a los negocios que desarrollan y que gente pues que se carpool, ride share, especialmente si vas a ir a un lugar a tomar, pues más vas a agarrar un Uber o a que alguien te lleve, un chofer designado, etcétera. Es nomás que quería compartir eso.
Madam Chair, I have a question. So this is a question for staff. I know that it's indicated that the future land use map sees this as a neighborhood mixed use area, but do we know how extensive that is? Because I do see that sentence on here, but in the map itself, we're not able to zoom in and see specifically how large the area is of neighborhood mixed use.
Can you put it up?
Where are they gonna go? I have a
All those darker pink areas.
The frontage.
But in what's linked in the agenda, which is really the comprehensive plan, is that the same mixed
No, that's,
land use indicator? Because I don't see that in the map where we have the future land use map.
Should be the same.
The dark pink is Judith, the Zaffarini
I
Elementary.
guess what she's asking, Didi, is did that come from the comprehensive plan?
Okay.
Yeah.
And out of this right here, that's neighborhood mixed.
Okay, all like the orange.
All the orange. The light one is medium density orange.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Digo, y también hay que ver que no creo que hay muchos restaurantes ahí cerca,
Claro.
¿verdad? Entonces,
Well,
Yeah, just a reminder, this
Chair,
is a recommendation.
a
can I make a comment really quick also? Voy a tratar con el español y el inglés a la misma vez, pero ahí nos va, ¿verdad? Can we pull up the aerial? Quiero ver las áreas cerquitas de este negocio. Veo que está una escuela que tienen, you share a property line with the school.
I think
And
that's,
as far as that corner of that property está Zaffarini. Enseguida hay muchos juegos de fútbol, mucha actividad de los niños que van ahí. Ahí está the SAC, where we have plenty of events. And my concern is with the alcohol sales here in a bar here, next to this area that's very, very, very high traffic with students, okay? And that corner shares a property line right there with UISD's property. So that's a very, very big concern. Now, hablamos de acceso aquí. La verdad que todos los restaurantes, bars, y ojalá que le vaya muy bien a su negocio, siempre están bien llenos y es bien difícil a veces cuando tienen los espacios que necesitan encontrar espacio para estacionamiento. Normalmente puede ver donde normalmente se van a estacionar en las calles, ¿verdad? Y aquí sería nomás una entrada a la subdivisión. Y se van a poner ahí y no pueden ir a la carretera de la 359 porque es muy peligrosa para comenzar en este lugar.
Pero, de hecho, lo que es todo el parqueadero, tenemos 90 cajones en todo lo que es alrededor del parqueadero.
Pero lo que está diciendo la ciudad, y no sé si hay un evento de la estancia
estancia.
y el restaurante a la misma vez, a la capacidad van a necesitar ¿cuántos espacios? How many spaces are they showing?
21.
Son 22 espacios. Y lo que yo estoy tratando de decir es, a veces no hay espacio en las barras, ni a veces en los eventos que tienen bodas o quinceañeras. O sea, dependiendo de los invitados, la única cosa aquí es, para mí, mi opinión, es que no hay mucho lugar para ver dónde se van a estacionar las personas que necesitan espacio para estar ahí a la misma vez. La otra es el alcohol, ¿verdad? Estando cerquita de las escuelas y el SAC, and the football fields, and the football games, and the baseball games, está bien difícil. A esta mesa aquí nomás damos una recomendación. Al final es el City Council que le va a dar el approval. So, quería también preguntar si sabía que tenían calculado 22 espacios que no tienen suficiente estacionamiento. Yes?
Sí.
Y está bien siguiendo con nuestra recomendación para el City Council.
Sí.
Okay.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
Sí, claro.
Caballero, estamos hablando del restaurante República.
Sí, pero del nuevo sucursal que va a estar en 59. Es el mismo dueño de los que están aquí en Delmar. Son los mismos
Y
dueños.
la experiencia es carnes asadas,
Sí, es
mollejas,
comida americana en general. Es cortes,
margaritas,
margaritas,
un
palomas.
caballito de tequila para el desempance, o sea, toda la experiencia que lleva la República,
restaurante, así es.
lo van a hacer aquí.
Sí,
Y de estar batallando con estacionamiento, pienso yo que eso es un muy buen problema de tener, ¿verdad? O sea, ¿cómo quisiera yo que tuviera ese problema en mi negocio, que están todos ahí buscando al abogado George, ¿verdad? Pero desafortunadamente hasta el momento todavía no tengo ese problema, pero un día de estos lo voy a tener. Y es un buen problema de tener, ¿me entiendes? Y claro, hay riesgo en todo. No puedo visionarme de que después de esos tacos y esa tequila que alguien va a ir a brincar la cerca con la escuela o manejar a ver un juego de fútbol ahí en el SAC. Yo pienso que como todos que van de festejo ahí enseguida o que compran cerveza ahí en la gasolinera, pues primeramente Dios van a seguir las reglas y las leyes y no andar manejando tomado. Pero yo he visitado alguna vez su restaurante hace mucho tiempo y era una buena experiencia. De hecho, estaba hasta el tope. Tuvimos que estar esperando para que nos dejaban entrar, porque es un buen producto que ofrece algo que me recuerdo de las tablitas
¿Haz de cuenta?
en el otro lado. Pero bueno, la nostalgia. Esto que quería decir, que tal vez consideran que ese es una buena problema tener.
Madam Chair, just to let you know, what I did was I even took out the square footage for the office and eliminated that to see if that would help with the parking because, you know, it's an office of 1,674, which added 7 parking spaces. So that moves it up a little bit more because
It's still not enough.
it's still short, but it was in order
Get rid
to
of
try
the
to
bathrooms,
Yo
the
quiero-
foyer,
try to
the...
do
Yo
whatever.
quiero opinar también en este punto que trajo George para finalizar y seguir con porque es el primer item y ya nos extendimos. Pero yo he ido muy seguido a la República. La República, si ustedes no saben dónde está enfrente de Alexander, ¿ok? High School. Vende molcajetes, carnes asadas, ¿cómo se dice? El que tiene el hueso así bien grande.
Tuétano.
Ajá, el tuétano, varias así. Y es un centro comercial pequeño, ¿verdad? En donde entras y sales, también está el Sushi Madre en una esquina, ¿verdad? Entonces, yo sí creo que ese tipo de restaurantes le beneficiarían al área, ¿verdad? No hay que ver todo lo negativo, sino que también poner lo positivo, que por allá no hay restaurantes tipo así, ¿verdad? Por allá no hay muchos eventos de los estudiantes de las escuelas y no hay a dónde ir a comer, ¿verdad? Entonces también yo creo que en mi punto de vista sería algo muy bueno un restaurante como ese ahí.
La única diferencia ahí es que ahí sí tenían estacionamiento. They met the parking requirement. Here they're
Pues
not.
sí.
It's a great idea. I said
like
the same
the
thing. It's a
place.
great idea, but they're not following the rules. Anybody can go,
Sí.
just because there's no restaurant, let's put it up there. It doesn't make sense,
Pues sí.
in my opinion.
Okay. Voy a continuar y ahorita...
Ok, me espero. Ok.
Gracias.
Gracias, permiso.
This is a public hearing. Anyone wants to speak against this item? No? What are the wishes of the commission?
I made my motion already, which is to approve the special use permit.
Second?
I had already seconded.
Do you have a second? All in favor? Aye. All against? O sea, your motion fails.
The 4-1.
Yo? Was for four. City council.
City council.
Eh? Okay, so motion fails?
It failed.
Fails.
Okay. ¿Dónde está el muchacho?
They'll tell them.
Nomás le aviso que hubo un empate, entonces va a proceder su caso hacia el concilio. ¿Ok? Gracias, mucho éxito.
I guess, Madam Chair, if we could just have the minutes, if the minutes could reflect that there were 4 and 4 against, so that the council can have the benefit of seeing the vote, the head count.
Yeah.
That word, do they make another motion?
I mean, if it's a tie, it's not going to go the other way either. So,
That's,
so exactly, yeah. Just
Okay.
it'll be just explain to council when it goes.
Okay. Moving,
would it,
diga.
just throwing this out there,
Uh-huh.
but would it make a difference if there was an adjustment to the time?
That's what I was gonna
Possibly
say.
11 o'clock, 10.
Be-
Does that mean anything to anybody? We can also do that.
Because La Estancia, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like, not all the time is gonna be open, And the restaurant will be open daily from 12 to 2, So maybe adjusting some times will help.
I think the vote's been taken and we gotta move forward.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understood.
Y'all don't want to propose an alternative motion that would adjust times?
I think it's been voted on.
Once again, this would be a recommendation. It would
This is
be-
a recommendation.
It's a recommendation that you, and you can see, if you look at the paperwork we gave you, we do have, this is a special use permit, so we have some conditions on here. And one of them is line item,
The time.
Yeah, we
trying to find it. B.
Well, moving on to item B, 6B, sorry. Discussion with possible action regarding the appeal of the park dedication fee by Mr. Arturo Garcia regarding the building permit application for 117 South Mendiola Avenue, proposed apartment complex.
Madam Chair, good evening, Commissioners, good evening. Just one real quick comment and request. I'm going to be requesting to see if you can table this item today. My associates and I, we didn't get notified, we didn't get notice. I had requested the appeal May 8th. There's been 3 meetings that have passed. The ordinance says that it should be the next meeting after the request. We're 4 meetings down. Nobody called us. I got a call at 2:30 from somebody in the community saying, hey, good luck tonight. What are you talking about? So I'm here, ran from the ranch down here, and I'm here before you. It is important to us, but my associates and also some other community members, I got Ms. Annabelle, who represents a lot of builders and developers out there that want to be present at our presentation to discuss this with you. It's a very important subject, and so we're requesting a table of the item. And just on that item 2, the entity is AGDL Investments, not Arturo Garcia requesting the appeal. So I just wrote the letter on behalf of the entity.
Which one is it?
It's AGDL Investments LLC. That is the entity building the apartments, that's the entity requesting the appeal. So if we could,
Motion to table.
I second it.
Is this one where we should postpone or table the item?
oh,
Was this a public hearing?
the next meeting is
Is it
fine.
public?
To the next meeting.
Right, this, I guess it would kind of depend on whether he would be prepared for the
Next meeting is fine.
Okay, yeah, then in that case, yeah, I would table it time certain to the next meeting.
As amended.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's for a vote.
Madam Chair, this,
We already have a motion, but,
And a second.
and a
but
second.
this has been posted as a public hearing as,
Yes.
so if you just
That I
want
have
to
a
go through,
against.
because we
Yes,
posted it
yes.
as a public hearing, there might be somebody who would like to speak on this item.
Yes,
I think doesn't Robert's rules with the motion to table, it ends discussion, it ends everything? I don't know.
That's, I just want to make sure.
Right, I would say that if it's not going to go forward today, then the public hearing will have to wait until when it's actually brought up.
when it's off,
Got
okay.
it.
Because we have, I was also gonna ask, because we have like park improvement fees and parkland dedication, like they were going to speak to us about everything, right? So if we table the item and it's tabled, it goes.
Can do the
to next
presentation
one.
at the next meeting.
At the
Got it.
next meeting, right?
So we do need a vote on.
Yes, that's what I was gonna do. The motion already passed, but, all in favor?
Aye. Now it passed.
No, we're good.
Now we're good. No, next meeting, we'll call you.
7A.
7A, review and consideration of the following master plan. Review of the revision of the J&H Commercial Park Subdivision Master Plan. The intent is commercial. The purpose of the revision is to combine lots in Phase 2. Are we okay to continue?
Yes, Madam Chair, for the record, applicant is J&H Rentals, engineer is Crane Engineering, proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for the three-lot development is M1, R1, and a portion is located within the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. The proposed master plan or revision of the master plan. Comments from planning?
I'm sorry, that was a little quick.
Go back one. Is that what you wanted?
That one or the?
I'm sorry,
The comments?
The comments from, yeah. Okay, got it, thank you.
Comments from fire department? And the proposed motion.
Please state your name for the record.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. Alfredo Martinez with Crane Engineering on behalf of the applicant. We reviewed all the comments provided by planning and all the other departments, and we're okay with all the comments.
I did have a question for staff on this one. If that's okay, Mr. Madam Chair, if I can ask a quick question to these guys. Within the master plan, there's an access easement. Is this going to be like the road for those developments in Phase 2 to have access to?
It's primarily for access to, I guess, the utilities department, fire department, to provide emergency services and all that.
But it's a private, it would be a private,
Privately maintained, yes.
privately maintained?
Yes.
But the access would be able to get a fire truck or whatever
Yes.
to the back of this development?
Right.
And then the other question is there's a ranch road there, I guess it's 60, I can't really see. Sorry about that, but I think it says Ward Avenue. Is this within this master plan?
It is outside of the master plan. So we reached out to the county on that particular roadway. It is identified, the street is named, but it is not a county road. So in dealing with, in our conversation with the county, they did want that reserve strip. So in the future, to give the opportunity to the people to the south to develop,
Could you
that
go
reserve
back to
strip
the
would already be
slide
there
of
for
the
them.
master plan?
But it is not a public or county.
So the question is, if it's not if it's a county or if it's not
It's not a public road.
it's not a public road, I know there's a lot of access on it. A lot of people use that roadway, and I know we have this master plan here. And I know, I was just wondering if Phase 2 would ever have access to this roadway in order to be able to try to improve, or when is this roadway gonna get improved? If we have this master plan in front of us now, to be able to have some improvement to see if this impact's gonna impact that roadway, and it's a pretty bad roadway that is utilized by a lot of properties.
Right.
Can we ask for some sort of, I don't know, if they're gonna add sidewalks to it, or they're gonna do any improvement to this roadway, or are they gonna have any access to it in the future?
Well, in the future, I mean, people do use the roadway, but it's not a public road. In the future, when the adjacent landowners would come in for plating, that's when this conversation would take place. But right now, we just want to make sure that that reserve is there.
But what I'm saying is, well, we have this property here right now in order to try to help us get the improvements on this roadway. And if not, then when is this roadway gonna get improved?
We can't answer that at the moment. That's the reason for the reserve, to make sure that we reserve that land, so when the road comes in, we have the right width. So the developer has agreed to put the reserve. Now, the difference between the two, if you have a dedication, the developer would have to build it out, right? But you're building it out just to half. So in this case, since we don't know the schedule of the county, when they're gonna come in.
Or the other landowners on the other side?
Oh, the landowners on the other side. So we do is we get a reserve that goes on the plat, and it's there. So the day that they come in, the land is available to put in a wide enough street for them.
And can we put a plat note to not allow access to it until that reserve is in place, or that road
Are
is
you running access to it? It doesn't look like they're gonna
So
do any access.
that's the whole reason for the access easement we're showing, to demonstrate that we are providing access solely through that access easement to that property. And that reserve, like staff was explaining, is to show the goodwill towards the future development of that road on the developer. Technically, they don't need it for access to the property, but they want to show that once it is ready to be improved, they're willing to participate in that improvement.
Okay. And really, because there's a lot of commercial, gonna be 18-wheelers coming in and out of here, to be able to, or to start using both the current easement and then this street would be.
Yeah, and you might have the neighboring landowners wanting to come in. They would have to plat, they would have to, go through the process, and then, but if they do come in to plat, we'd have the land cast for the improvement.
And the reserve is asked in the planning notes?
Yes, and it's also, you can see it on the comment, proposed 25-foot right-of-way reserve and utility easement. And that will be on the actual phase.
Any more questions? Sigo con, this is a public hearing. This is a public hearing? No? No. What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to close and approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Would that be subject to the comments by staff?
Approve as, yes.
Subject to the following comments.
Yes.
To the comments, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Consideration of the following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. 8A, preliminary consideration of the plat of J&H Commercial Park Subdivision Phase 2. The intent is commercial.
Yes, for the record, applicant is J&H Rentals, engineer is Crane Engineering, proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for this one-lot development is M1, R1, and a portion is located within the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning? Comments from the fire department, fire safety? And the proposed motion.
State your name for the record.
Alfredo Martinez with Crane Engineering, on behalf of the applicant, for the record. As with the master plan, we reviewed all the comments and we're okay with the comments. We concur with all the requirements.
Okay. Does the commission have any questions? No? What are the wishes for the commission?
Motion to close and approve as written.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8B, preliminary consideration of the Sedema plat. The intent is commercial. With this one, we have an annex here that states that the owner of the Sedema property, Marco A. Garcia, would like to table the item, plat, till time uncertain. That's what he says.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8C, preliminary consideration of Lot 1, Block 1, Paragon plat. The intent is industrial.
Yes, Madam Chair, for the record, applicant is, sorry. Gabriel Gonzalez, engineer is Armando Guerra, Premier Engineering. Proposed use is industrial, and the zoning for this one lot development is AG. And a portion is outside the city limits, but within the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed plat. Comments from planning? And the proposed motion.
Could you go back one? please?
Yes.
Madam Chair, just for clarification on these preliminary plats, you'll see that planning has some general comments that we applied to these. The other departments don't necessarily have them because the engineers are still will work on the designs. So this will go, based on your approval, it goes to the one-stop shop. At that point, the engineers have to submit their drawings, their calculations, everything over there. Then you'll see that the departments start asking questions, but that's done at the one-stop shop. So, but all departments are notified and they're presented this at our meeting that we have for all the departments, so they're aware that this is coming. But the engineer will be submitting their plans once it gets to one-stop shop. So I just thought I'd.
But even though we've gotten some that were at the final and there's still no comments.
If it's a final, it's gone through the one-stop shop and they've met all the requirements by the city of Laredo. So then it's coming over here to get a final approval.
So then,
And that shouldn't
okay.
have comments.
That's fine.
So it's two different things.
Okay.
So,
There's still some. No comments. We'll never see comments again.
Please state your name for the record.
Sergio Narvaez with Premier Engineering, Madam Chairman. Good evening, members of the Planning Commission, staff. First of all, thank you for review our project, and we're just here representing the client and to let you know that we concur with the comments that the planning staff made it to us, and just to see if you have any questions at this time.
Do we know what is going to be there? I can't see. Does the commission have any questions? No? What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve, subject to the comments?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Eight D, preliminary consideration of the Charlie and Gaby San Miguel plat. The intent is commercial.
Yes, Madam Chair, for the record, applicant is Carlos and Mirna Gabriela San Miguel. Engineer is Andres Rubio, KCI Technologies. Proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for this one lot development is B3. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The proposed plat. Comments from planning. And the proposed motion.
This is a public hearing. State your name for the record.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. I'm Andrea Aranda with KCI Technologies, representing the applicant, and we concur with all comments.
Does the commission have any questions? No?
Yes, one quick question. Is there, so this is next to Manadas Creek, is that
Yes.
right? And is it within the floodplain in any way?
They did make a comment that we are a third order stream. We have discussed it with the environmental department, and we will provide the buffer that is required by the city. We are on the edge of the floodway, so we're part of the floodplain, but not the floodway.
Okay, not the floodplain, no. Okay, thank you.
And if I may, Madam Chair, I believe, I don't know, if maybe you can, are you an engineer as well?
Yes.
I'm an engineer in training, so.
Okay, cool. I believe that the, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the green space ordinance would apply in this situation, which would also require that in addition to the buffer, what's with, if there's any, you know, and I'm getting a little off topic here, but essentially you'd have to comply with the green space ordinance as well as the stormwater ordinance, but all that's in the all of that is in the land development code. She was doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great. No. I'm
Great.
just standing right here.
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Hello?
members of the commission, Jeff Quigg, KCI.
And I guess that's captured adequately there, and I presume, ma'am, that you're in agreement with staff comments?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's all I got.
And to answer some of the questions that y'all may have had, yes, we are preserving the green space ordinance with a 50-foot buffer. We simply have to go in and identify the ordinary high water mark at this point. To identify that, we're certainly preserving the area that's identified as the floodway within the property, and that's identified as a drainage easement on the exhibit. So we are covering both bases.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Helicopter engineer.
Te asustaste. ¿Qué fue?
What are the, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is it, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve, subject to comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ahora que sí. 8E, primary consideration of the replat of Lot 1, Block 1, Vista del Sur subdivision, Phase 1 into Lots 2, 14, Block 1, Vista del Sur subdivision, Phase 1.
Yes, for the record, applicant is HFK Development, engineer is Borges Nance Engineering. Proposed use is residential, and the zoning for this 14-lot development is R2. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The proposed replat. Comments from planning. And the proposed motion.
Madam Chair, may I inquire from the applicant? Yeah, what is special drainage easement, Mr. Nance?
That's what
Wayne Nance for Porras Engineering. Here, we're in support of this. It's a special drainage easement that's part of the subdivision ordinance. It covers lot-to-lot drainage, and it's defined in the ordinance.
And so here in this instance, what you're just gonna, is the drainage gonna be channelized, or it's gonna, what do, forgive my ignorance, but what do we mean, special drainage easement?
These are defined in the ordinance for what I would consider just lot-to-lot drainage. The ordinance inherently allows single lot to single lot drainage without any kind of easements whatsoever, because if you're the high guy and you're draining to your neighbors, but if sometimes the lots are arranged in a certain way to where it's going to impact more than one lot or several lots, then we identify a special drainage easement so that that cannot be blocked over the greater good. It usually encompasses smaller drainage areas, very not really channels. It will be a swell at best, and it's just a way of making sure that neighbors recognize that they need to support natural, drainage paths between properties.
And so to staff's comment, clarify, is that?
Yes. So, yes, actually, I did have a conversation with Rogelio Baldasso from his staff to clarify, and he did point it out in the ordinance, so.
So it's been clarified?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, motion to approve.
There's a letter, right?
Right, there's also the letter of
There's
the
also
front
the
lot.
letter there in here that states that they were requesting to install utilities
Right, so.
within a front yard utility easement on the above referenced project.
Right, so by ordinance, the subdivision ordinance actually requires that they submit a letter that we formally advise the commission of that situation. So that's, they're in compliance, we just
They're
have
in
to provide it as backup.
Okay, perfect.
Madam Chair, I do have a question.
Sure.
So this is a question for staff. I know in past meetings, we've discussed the water master plan and the issue of not having looped lines in the past. And I know that it was mentioned that the utilities department should have a policy in place to prevent us from getting to that place of not looping the lines. I know that this is still in the preliminary phase, but do we know what that policy is that's in place to prevent unlooped lines?
As far as looping the lines, I don't, you haven't visited with utilities yet on this project?
No, we have not yet, but that's certainly something that they take very seriously whenever we're in the one-stop shop, and that will be addressed on this. We won't be leaving dead ends, so.
My understanding, the director is insisting that it gets put in. So I want to say that it's now procedurally implemented now, because I've heard it from engineers that they're having to loop in various projects.
Okay, and would it be possible to share that policy or ordinance with us so that we can see what types of developments are being required to do that versus maybe others that are not?
If I can, I could have the utilities director show up and report to you a status of what he's doing to encourage looped lines.
That would be
Definitely.
great, thank you.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
There's a
Second.
motion, yeah.
There's a
Do we have a
motion.
motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's 8F, right?
Yes, ma'am.
8F, preliminary consideration of the plat of High Line at Springfield. The intent is commercial.
Yes, for the record, applicant is Highline Engineer is Daniel Gomez. Proposed use is commercial, and the zoning for this one-lot development is B3. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed plat. Comments from planning. Traffic safety. And the proposed motion.
Madam Chair, may I inquire?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, and for what purpose specifically is this area intended to be used for?
Daniel Gomez. This is gonna be, well, the intent is to do luxury apartment complex.
Luxury apartment complex?
That's the intention.
Understood. And are you all going to, I know this is just for plat, but just be something to be thinking about, right? I know there's a bunch of residences in the back. Are you planning on creating some sort of a buffer or, I don't know, noise abatement or anything along those lines?
It has been discussed. It went to, we're trying to accommodate some design in order to reduce the noise to the rear neighbors.
Understood.
We're still working, and I'm working closely with the architect. I'm just doing the plat, but we're coordinating with the actual design just to make sure that we're in compliance.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yo voy a ser uno de los vecinos.
Yeah, you won't regret.
No, quién sabe porque van a ver a la alberca y todo. So, other comments? Any comments?
Motion to approve, subject to comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 8G, preliminary consideration of the replat of Colonia Cuatro Caminos in Cuatro Caminos Industrial Plat. The intent is industrial.
Yes, Madam Chair, for the record, applicant is Depot Properties. Engineer is Daniel Gomez. Proposed use is industrial, and the zoning for this one-lot development is not applicable as this tract is located within the ETJ. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The plat and the proposed replat. Comments from planning.
You cannot build stuff so the county was
Can you go to the aerial, back to the aerial?
Yes.
So this particular plat, the replat, what's going on is, there was an original plat, but they're dealing with the county. So, and the county doesn't allow for overlapping septic, it's septic.
That's correct.
So they're needing to eliminate the underlying plat, replat it, so then they qualify at the county. So they're having to work with both the city and the county on this project.
Okay.
I'm Daniel Gomez, the engineer record for this. We're doing just a one lot subdivision just to comply with the CQ and the Webb County. But we have reviewed the comments from the city as well as the county, and we'll comply with everything.
Do you have any questions? No? What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to close.
A quick question. What is the proposed use? Do we know?
It says the intent is industrial,
Just general.
truck yard.
Okay.
So that's what it is right now.
There's a motion, a second? Yes? Second?
And motion to approve, subject to staff comments.
Mm-hmm. Second?
I say.
All in favor?
Right, Mr. Algo, Mr. Mazzoy?
Yes.
He may have technically beat me to the second, but yeah, I'm happy to second it. Or third it, I thirded it.
I made the motion with,
Thank you,
I
sorry.
just didn't add the, what's he, the, discuss,
To the phone.
but that's the motion.
Okay. Can I have a motion to hear items 9A through 9C all together?
So moved.
Second?
Can I have a motion to approve items
Motion.
9A through 9C?
Motion to approve.
Can they please read it into the record?
Yes, ma'am. For the record, final consideration of ADN Gonzalez plat, final consideration of La Quinta addition, replat of block 934, 941A, and lots 5, 6, 7, and 8 of block 941, Western Division, final consideration of the plat of Santa Elena subdivision, Phase 4,
Yeah?
yes.
Estaba leyendo. Yeah? What are the wishes of the commissioner? Or can I have a motion?
We need just be our motions and a second.
And second, right?
Right, they're already approved, so he was reading them into record. Do you have one more item, 10A?
Oh, I have to bring it. Oh, okay. Can I have a motion to approve 9A through 9C?
We already
No,
did
no, no,
that.
10A.
10A.
No,
Ah, 10A.
her original motion
No,
was to
but
bring them all up
All
together.
up together.
She's gonna approve it.
Now you have to prove it.
Right, but the, was
already
it
did
Portillo
motion.
approved them, and then Ms. Wine seconded them?
Ah, I didn't.
Yeah,
And then they were read into.
Okay,
and then
okay,
they
I'm
were
sorry,
read into record.
Can,
I wasn't paying attention again.
Just for the record, we didn't take a vote. She made the motion to read them, but she didn't, we didn't do a vote to accept them. You read them before that.
No.
Ellas fueron,
Well,
¿no?
we can,
So they-
if you want to do it again, go ahead.
Let's do it
Just to make
again.
sure.
The
Okay.
motion to hear,
Okay. Motion to approve items 9, no.
No.
Motion to hear items 9A through
We did
9C
that
all
already.
together.
Mr.
Fueron-
Algil and Mr.
Right.
Garcia.
Uh-huh. And then, can I have a motion to approve 9A?
We didn't
It
vote,
was
we didn't
Ms.
vote on that motion.
But we didn't vote on it.
It was Ms. Portillo.
Do a vote, call for a vote. Call for a vote.
Call for vote. You want to make sure.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Call for a vote.
Yeah, no? Everybody voted?
Yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Yes. Aye. We did it.
Number 10, reconsideration of the following final plats and final replats. Can I have a motion to hear item 5? See, no?
Just read it.
Final reconciliation of the replat into Lot 2B and 2C, Block 1, Laredo Arena Subdivision, Unit 4. The intent is commercial. The purpose of reconsideration is to increase the acreage from 0.78 acres to 1.01 acres of Lot 2C.
Do you want me to,
Do you want
Can I
do
have
you
a
want me to
motion?
read it, or do you want to approve of it, or?
Can you walk us through it, or?
Do you have to read it?
It's a final
It's a final read, the
reconsideration.
motion to approve.
Por eso, a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
No, I know they were. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Any director's comments?
Too late.
Meeting's
adjourned.
Good. For the meeting. Yeah, we like it that way. That was
We like it that way.
That was no accident.
Somebody knew what they were doing.
Yes.
Somebody knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's adjournment.
Like, save
I
them
just
for next
flipped the
time.
page and I was
We
like,
haven't
what?
taken a vote. Oh, but they haven't voted on it.
All those in favor, oh yeah, if you really, yeah. So,
Do we have any director's comments?
The only comment I have is that I traveled up to Austin to be president of the Texas Transportation Commission meeting. That's the meeting where they approved the budget for the state. Our district received $2.3 billion. Now we're waiting for the next meeting to find out what the Laredo district received of the $2.3 billion.
Sorry, was that million with an M or billion
Billion.
with a B?
B, yes.
Okay, all right, now we're talking
So-
real money.
Right, and of course, we go up there because we fight that we are the front door to Mexico coming into the United States, and we have a lot of traffic, and we need more money, and there's other counties that are receiving more than us, so we go up there to argue the point. So that's, so the practice is to go up and meet with the commissioners and try to get them to understand what we have here in Laredo. The good thing is, we spoke to the mayor of San Angelo, for example. She understands the importance of the efficiency of the border here in Laredo because she knows how that's going to help her in the future. So she promotes giving to Laredo because the more efficient we are, the better it is for everybody else upstream, as you call it. So that was big. And the other interesting part is the state is going to be funding some money to the counties to install electrical chargers for the electric cars. That's coming to this area, so we're hoping to be part of that decision-making of where to put them. So we'll keep you informed on that, but that's just something that they're promoting highly to bring in.
And they didn't say anything about the Vallecillo or Ruthven?
We have those fundings available for those projects. They've already been set aside, so it's going to roll out probably 2025 before we can get that one going. But it's going to, I mean, these are big projects, but yes, that's in the works. And we're trying to make them shovel-ready so that we could submit and we can get going on the project. But, so I've been attending the MPO meetings. Now, it used to be the MPO was handled by the planning director. It's been separated. Juan Mendiva is the director of the MPO. So now I attend as a representative for the city of Laredo so that we can hear what they're doing with the funds. So I just wanted to update you on the trip to Austin.
Okay. Ahora sí?
Call for the question?
No.
We have a motion and a second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.